You're watching Color 10 News at 10 in high definition.
Millions of dollars in private and public funds are being used to renovate downtown Springfield. I'm Ashley Katz.
And I'm David Oliver. Good to have you joining us here for the broadcast. One of the major streets being renovated is Campbell. And tonight, new at 10, that's where Laura Kennedy is live to show us the work that's underway.
This intersection at Campbell and McDaniel is a good example of the two major types of construction going on in downtown Springfield. This sidewalk is undergoing a publicly funded streetscapes renovation. Now, if we walk just across the street, we have a privately funded new housing development. Now, officials say both types are great for the economy downtown, but sometimes the construction can be harmful to local businesses. Driving through downtown on Campbell Avenue, this is what you'll find. Dozens of privately and publicly funded construction projects are underway in downtown Springfield.
We see that as a prime gateway into downtown.
Rusty Worley with the Urban Districts Alliance says improvements to Campbell are critical.
Guests are coming in from Bass Pro and other destinations on the south side of town.
That includes spending public dollars on streetscaping, an effort to make downtown more pedestrian friendly. Rusty says one of the main parts of a new streetscape is updating torn up sidewalks like these on Campbell. But renovating downtown streets comes at a cost for business owner Andrea Pena.
You want it on a hanger or in a bag?
The sidewalks in front of her clothing boutique, Modern Society, have been torn up for 2 months.
It kind of looks like we're closed. We're not getting as much drive-by traffic as we normally do.
She hasn't seen a decrease in sales yet, but believes the ongoing construction is deterring new customers.
It makes me wonder how much more we could be doing and what we're missing out on.
Andrea says the construction is frustrating, but she and Rusty both hope that short-term inconvenience means growth in the long run.
Construction can be a hassle, but it's also a sign that investment's happening, and it's the price of progress.
Throughout the last 10 years, $400 million have been spent here in downtown Springfield to do renovations. Now, this particular work down here that you see when you drive around is expected to be completed by the end of summer. Reporting live, Laura Kennedy, Color 10 News.
Laura, thanks. This would be the work to get that construction work going because, Jamie, it's another warm one ahead tomorrow.
Yeah, dry weather, plenty of sunshine and temperatures which are comfortable. Of course, we haven't seen a lot of that this spring, and we certainly haven't seen a lot of that this month, at least going back to the beginning of the month when we had that cold spell there. Started late in the week, went through the weekend. Last week was mild but wet at times. Well, today, 78. That was this afternoon's high, the warmest reading that we've seen since the first of the month. Wasn't the warmest in the area, though. You can see Harrison 80 today, 81 in Mountain Home. Even areas to the northeast managed to make it into the mid-70s, 74 today in Rolla. Skies are clear out there. Temperatures feel great. Dropping to the 60s right now. Currently 64 in Springfield. It's not going to drop a lot more. Moisture beginning to creep back into the Ozarks. Looks like lows in the upper 50s. By noon tomorrow will be in the mid to upper 70s, and winds are going to get gusty out of the southwest. That'll continue through the afternoon with the warmest readings of the year so far expected. In fact, we'll challenge records tomorrow. We'll look at that in your full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Jamie. Tonight, we investigate the reasons why many rapists get away with their crimes. Police never arrest them. They never go to court. They never spend time in prison. Color 10's Kevin Schwaller found the trend extends to the Ozarks.
It's already so difficult for a woman to come forward, and if she does report a forcible rape, most times the suspect is not arrested on the charge. Now, we are only looking at forcible rape in our report that has a specific definition. For the stats we examined, a narrow definition. It does not include sexual assaults as a whole. Still, this is a serious crime, and even the Greene County prosecutor says too few people are serving time for what they've done.
The trauma of rape.
No longer will the victim feel safe. They'll always be looking over their shoulder.
The executive director of the Victim Center in Springfield says the path from report to conviction wears on victims.
Like it or not, our criminal justice system is not perfect. And when a victim goes through that court process, it is very exhausting. It sometimes re-victimizes the victim because they're having to retell their story over and over again.
And state stats show 137 reports of forcible rape in Springfield last year, and 12 forcible rape arrests.
Not all cases are cleared with an arrest.
That's Springfield Lieutenant Tad Peters. He says a better number to look at is 66. That's the number of cleared cases. It includes arrests, an uncooperative victim, the death of the suspect, or other circumstances.
Many times a rape case will come down to a matter of the issue of consent.
And Peters admits these cases can be difficult. Fear of retribution or not wanting to have to face trial, a lack of forensic or corroborating evidence. Any number of factors can make it more difficult to secure an arrest or conviction.
Do you believe the Springfield Police Department is doing enough?
We're doing everything we can. Enough, it's hard to say. I mean, enough we'd like to see every person convicted who's committed this crime. But unfortunately, with the circumstances that come with these cases, sometimes we just can't get that conviction every time.
Nearly all forcible rape reports last year did not end in a forcible rape conviction. Remember, according to police and prosecutors, Springfield had 137 forcible rape reports, and 66 were cleared. 15 cases met the definition of forcible rape when police handed the cases over to the prosecutor. Prosecutors took up 7 of those cases and ended with 1 guilty plea for forcible rape. Other cases are still pending.
Because it is such an intimate crime, it is extremely difficult to both investigate and to prosecute.
Greene County Prosecutor Dan Patterson gave us a recent example. A man pleaded guilty, he says, to domestic assault but not rape. The victim missed a procedural step, throwing out the rape charge. She had fled to a shelter.
Bottom line, are most perpetrators of rape in Greene County getting the justice they deserve?
Absolutely not. Nationwide, they're not. We know that based on 1, the numbers that don't go reported, and 2, the difficulty in proving an allegation, and the extreme difficulty on the victim of choosing to go forward with a prosecution.
There are many hard truths about rape, that they often go unreported, or that the perpetrator is typically someone the victim knows.
In terms of our community and our society, there's still that stigma about a victim is somehow to be blamed for putting herself in whatever situation.
Bartell says a victim should never be blamed.
And again, most rapes don't get reported. Numbers from a Justice Department survey show less than 40% of rapes and sexual assaults were reported to police in 2010.
And if you'd like to see the extended interview with Greene County Prosecutor Dan Patterson, go to our website, ozarksfirst.com.
Revealing report tonight from Kevin there. Thanks, Kevin. A Springfield man exchanged sexual messages with a 13-year-old girl. Ezra Graham pleaded guilty in federal court today. Prosecutors say Graham began chatting online with a girl back in 2009, then exchanged the text messages. Graham faces 15 to 30 years in prison. Also tonight, new at 10, the owners of a Lebanon trucking company will soon be parked in prison. Today, a federal judge sentenced James and Melinda Ivey for defrauding Tracker Marine. Last summer, they were convicted of inflating purchase orders and shipping invoices. Prosecutors say Tracker lost almost $800,000 to J&M Trucking. The judge gave James Ivey 5 years and 10 months in prison. Melinda Ivey received 2 years, 6 months. Springfield police have also now given us the name of a man found dead on the city's north side today. A passerby found 39-year-old Michael Smith around 7 this morning at Grant and Evergreen. He was below the I-44 bridge there. The death is being investigated as suspicious. There will be an autopsy this week to determine his cause of death.
A mock crash aimed to teach students about the dangers of distracted driving. It took place today at Forsyth High School. In this example here, a girl texting and driving caused the head-on collision. Students walked around the graphic scene, and the Grim Reaper was there too. Well, a Springfield High School student has a new car today. Reliable Chevy gave it away as part of Project Graduation. That is the drug-and-free, alcohol-free graduation celebration. Now, one student from each of Springfield's 5 high schools had a chance to win, and here you see him. Micah Horsch of Central was the one who drove away the winner.
A Missouri-based biotech company has tonight won a patent dispute. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled unanimously that farmers cannot use Monsanto's patented genetically altered soybeans to create new seeds without paying a fee. A farmer in Indiana had signed a contract with Monsanto for his main crop, but then mixed some seeds from a grain elevator with others in hopes they might produce a second crop. Monsanto's seeds are valuable because they are resistant to the herbicide Roundup.
Well, the invasive zebra mussels have been discovered at an Ozarks lake. Biologists found them in Barber Lake. That's in St. Clair and Vernon counties. Zebra mussels attach to hard surfaces like docks, rocks, and boat hulls, causing ecological and property damage. The Missouri Department of Conservation believes those zebra mussels will eventually get into Truman Lake as well. Cleaning the sides of an Ozark highway is a pretty dirty job.
And sometimes dangerous.
We tell them to stay away.
Tonight, the many hazards MoDOT workers and volunteers encounter in an effort to keep your roads looking nice.
And if you'd like to keep up with news around the Ozarks, find Color 10 on Facebook. First, look for the icon on ozarksfirst.com and then like our Facebook page.
Now to more local news here at 10 o'clock tonight. While cleaning up trash and roadkill along highways, MoDOT workers and volunteers are often exposed to some greater dangers. They find things like needles and other drug paraphernalia, even loaded guns. MoDOT wants its employees and volunteers to be aware of these dangerous materials.
I know one summer we would find probably 2 or 3 trash bags every time we would mow of this type of trash, and we don't want them picking up whatever kind of chemicals could have been in those containers or anything else like that. We tell them to stay away. We tell our people to really pay attention to what you're picking up. It can hurt you. The guns, we tell them to leave them lay, and we'll call the highway patrol for them to come pick stuff up for us.
MoDOT also reminds people tonight to take responsibility for their own trash and dispose of it properly.
Gas prices are up a dime per gallon in the last week. According to MissouriGasPrices.com, the statewide average is $3.57. In Springfield, it's a little higher, $3.59. The national average is also $3.57. Well, here is Jamie to tell us about rising temperatures. We've got the rising gas prices, Jamie. You've got good news, though.
I got good news. How about this? Yesterday morning, we saw record lows here in Springfield and in Rolla as well. It looks like tomorrow we will flirt with record highs for both of those locations. A look at that and whether or not this warmth has some staying power coming up.
And now weather with Color 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
Well, a beautiful stretch of weather has fallen on the Ozarks. Really started back on Saturday. Yeah, a few little hiccups here and there with the front that came through on Saturday, and then also some clouds late in the day yesterday. But, you know, for the most part, it was nice out there. Well, today was even better. We had the sun and we had the warm temperatures too, and it's still mild out there, 64 right now. Winds pretty light out of the south-southeast at about 8 miles per hour. Pattern across the United States, very quiet for the most part. We've got a little bit of severe weather here in Montana. The flow, the jet stream pattern is zonal. It's west to east, and it's relatively far to the north, up near the border between the United States and Canada. So any storms that are further south are kind of getting left behind, and we've got one of those down here in northwestern Mexico. You can see this flare-up of showers and thunderstorms. That's an upper-level system. There's another one that's located right about in here, and that one is going to help to nudge this one out towards the east over the next 24 to 36 hours. And eventually it will have an impact on our weather, it looks like starting Wednesday afternoon through Thursday. Before that, though, we've got some gorgeous weather. Overnight tonight, skies are going to remain clear. Temperatures are going to remain comfortable. Not getting as cold as the last few nights. And it has been cold. We saw lows in the 30s Sunday morning, Mother's Day morning. We saw lows this morning in the 40s. Well, tonight, we're not going to drop out of the upper 50s. And then during the day on Tuesday with lots of sun, we're going to find temperatures soaring well into the 80s. In fact, I think the warmest day so far this spring on the way for Tuesday, and looks like a lot of sun to go with that. So warm tomorrow. After tomorrow, though, we mentioned that we're going to see that next storm head our way. This is not going to be a strong storm. What it will do is help to push some additional cloud cover and a chance for a few spotty showers and thunderstorms into the area starting Wednesday afternoon through Thursday, possibly lingering into Friday, but that system should be on the way out by Friday. Again, rainfall totals will not be all that much. It'll be very spotty in nature, but the clouds and the showers will hold temperatures down a little bit. But it's still going to be warm for this time of the year with highs in the 70s and low 80s Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday. After Friday, it gets real warm again, I think, on Saturday. And it's going to be very muggy as well. Today, we had sort of a dry warmth. Tomorrow will be sort of a dry heat with humidity levels still fairly low. It looks like for the second half of this week and through this weekend, though, as the Gulf of Mexico is now wide open, we're moving moisture north, it is going to be muggy and it's going to be warm. So it's going to feel kind of like summertime out there later this week and through this weekend. And as we add in the next storm, which will arrive Sunday into Monday, there will be the chance for maybe some strong to severe storms across Kansas on Sunday, and some of this may spill over into western Missouri maybe later in the day on Sunday into Monday. So that's something that we're going to have to kind of watch for as we head closer and closer to this upcoming weekend. Overnight tonight, though, quiet, skies clear, 57 for the low. Areas like Joplin down around 60. You can see, though, generally speaking, it'll be in the 50s for lows. For tomorrow, we'll see a high of at least 86. I think we could get close to 87 tomorrow afternoon here in Springfield and in other locations, and that will put us very close to the records for tomorrow's date. In Springfield, the record high is 88. Again, we're probably going to be no more than 1 or 2 degrees off of that. We can say that for West Plains and Rolla. Harrison, though, not even close. The record high tomorrow for Harrison is 96 degrees. The warmth hangs around all week long through the upcoming weekend. There's your chance for maybe a few showers or thunderstorms, which could produce some strong to severe thunderstorm activity. Looks like temperatures, so even behind that storm, will remain mild. So I think we can officially call winter to be over.
Especially with those morning lows, too. In the 60s.
Say that now.
No, I think I don't see anything that resembles anything like we've seen. Yeah.
All
That's
right.
good. Thanks, Jamie.
You bet.
Well, the road to a high school baseball state championship is now underway.
Who's still alive? And the St. Louis Cardinals face the Mets. Highlights next.
Now, the Chevy Dealer Sports Report with Dan Lucy.
The road to O'Fallon and the Missouri State High School Baseball Championship continued today with district play. Class 3, District 10, Springfield Catholic facing Houston. Bottom of the first, Catholic's Danny Richardson doubles down the left field line. That would bring home Brayton Ballinger and Arabi Ruzicka to make it 2-0 Irish. Next pitch, Drew Rash would rope it down the middle. Eric Atwell comes in to score. Richardson scores as well to make it 4-0. Then Houston's pitcher would uncork a wild throw here. Rash comes in to score to make it 5-0. Catholic rolls to a 21-3 win. The Irish will face Ava tomorrow for the district championship. In Willard, Class 4, District 12, the host Tigers taking on Webb City. Tigers off to a quick start. Michael Pfeiffer doubles to right center. Keaton Presley scores to make it 1-0. And then Justin Atchison would single to center. And Piper comes in to score to make it 2-0. Still in the bottom of the first inning, a pass ball would bring home Luke Latham to make it 3-0. And Willard shuts out Webb City 10-0. Tigers will face Neosho for the district title tomorrow. Springfield Cardinals open an 8-game road trip tonight in Tulsa. Cards 5-3 on their last homestand, starting the trip with a half-game lead on Arkansas in the North. Cards took 3 of 4 from Tulsa in their first meeting here in Springfield. They loaded the bases top of the first. Tyler Matzik walks Jake Lemmerman. Mike O'Neill trots home. It was 1-0. Springfield and Audrey Perez would ground this to Matzik off his glove. Ruben Gotay scores to make it 2-0. 3-0 third inning, and Xavier Scruggs would go deep to center, over the boards and gone. That's his 10th home run of the season, his 94th career minor league home run. Springfield wins 10-4. Cardinals continue their homestand against the Mets. Mets signing former pitcher for the Cardinals and outfielder Rick Ankiel, and he was in center field. St. Louis takes the lead in the first. Alan Craig shoots this into the left field corner. Carpenter scores 1-0, 2-0. Daniel Murphy for the Mets line. This is to right. Carlos Beltran loses it in the sun. Ann Keel and Mike Baxter both score to make it 2-2. It was 4-3 St. Louis, 7th inning. Matt Holliday would give the Cards insurance. A drive to left center that goes over the usual number and gone. A 2-run shot to make it 6-3. St. Louis goes on to win 6-3. Lance Lynn gets the win. Royals in L.A. taking on the Angels. It's 4-1 Royals in the 4th inning. Like most NFL teams, the Kansas City Chiefs just wrapped up rookie camp, OTAs, just a week away, when the entire team comes in for summer drills. Today, one of those Chiefs, running back Jamal Charles, was at Reed Spring Middle School. The school was a national winner for the Play 60 program, which gets the students to eat right and stay active. As a reward, Charles paid him a visit, shared what he eats and how he stays in shape as an NFL player. Charles came back from injury last season, started 15 of the 16 games, rushed for 1,500 yards, and scored 5 touchdowns. The third-round draft choice says that the trip back to middle school was special for him as well.
It really touched me, you know what I'm saying? It really touched me until I got here and I saw my name walking in the building, and it was real special that they have me today. They can be anything they want to be in the world, basically, and eating healthy, drinking their milk, especially in the morning, at breakfast time, eating fruit, just basically eating healthy.
Boys State Golf Championships teed off at the Royale the Ozarks today. 3 of the 4 classes being decided on area courses. At River Cut, Class 4, Marquette leads after day 1. Kickapoo is in 7th place, 15 strokes out of 1st. Now back to our timeout at 6 o'clock. We talked about the Washington Redskins. I say the time has come to change the name. Washington, D.C. Councilman David Grosso suggested Red Tails to honor the Tuskegee Airmen. I think that's a great idea. Put that P-51 Mustang on the helmet. I asked for your opinions. Only one agrees with me, sort of. That's John on Facebook, saying the team will eventually be forced to change. Look at the University of North Dakota, so they might as well save all that money for court and do it now. Robert disagrees. He says it's lame. Next thing you know, the Audubon Society will want to change the Cardinals because some bird watcher is offended. Russ emails, if he does, then the Chicago Blackhawks, Cleveland Indians, Atlanta Braves, and last but not least, Kansas City Chiefs need to change their names to become politically correct. It has been that way. There is no ill will with these names. These people just need to get over it. Finally, Bob says, I totally disagree with the Red Tails. While the Tuskegee Airmen certainly distinguished themselves during World War II, there were also other units that had enviable war records. So a lot of opinions out there against it. I say, do it.
I love the opinions we get on Monday nights during timeout. Just saying. Thanks.
We look forward to it on Mondays.
We do. Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers.
Hopefully, spring has finally arrived for good.
I think it's sprung, and I don't think we're going to be able to put that jack back in the box. Looks like we're going to see the warm weather hanging around now. 86 tomorrow at least, maybe 87. The record tomorrow is 88. And the warm weather will stay with us through the rest of the week into the weekend. And we're going to add in some humidity, so we're really going to have a summer feel, I think, to the weather later this week, and especially through this upcoming weekend. This week, just a few spotty showers or thunderstorms possible starting Wednesday through Friday. Maybe a better chance for some rain late in the weekend into early next week.
All right, final thought, Dan?
Yeah, the baseball playoffs continue tomorrow with district championships. Soccer starts up for the girls as well, so we'll have plenty of highlights throughout the week.
Look forward to it. Thanks so much.
And thank you for staying up late with us tonight here on Color 10 News at 10. Don't forget, we're always online at ozarksfirst.com.
Also, Color 10 Daybreak tomorrow at 5 a.m. with Rob, Shannon, and Chris. We'll look for you back here tomorrow night. For now, good night.